Alrighty guys, welcome back. Raging Cajun here, doing some service to the semi today. Gonna do a PM service on the semi. I'll show you all the products that we'll be using right quick. Where I got them from. I got them from Thermo byproducts. The whole kit was like no more than $50 including shipping. Highly advise getting this from Thermo byproducts. It's cheaper going that way. If you go, you can go through Thermo King and get the products, but it's cheaper to get them off of this site. I've got the oil filter here. Part number for that is OF6182E. Comes in the kit, completely sealed up. The fuel filter, I've got part number FF9342. Comes in the kit, completely sealed up. Air filter for the back of the unit is AF0490/AF9059. That came in the kit. And also the blue air filter for inside the cab. Part number on that is TB37925701. But I went ahead and got all this stuff off of here. Still got to take this top unit off, top plate off, so I can get to that back filter. I went ahead and pulled the oil drain plug, so all the oil is already out of the system. I'm getting ready to take these two off. I'll do one at a time. For that, you're going to need yourself a good set of oil filter wrenches. Don't matter what brand you want to get, no matter which one you want to get, you just need a good set of oil filter wrenches. I am not using any tools from the house. All these tools that I have are the ones I keep on the truck at all times. But we're going to go ahead and get this oil filter off. Just loosen it up and do the rest of it by hand. It's probably going to drain a little bit more. That's okay. Just be careful. Oh, it'll come off. Go ahead and drop it in there. It'd probably be a good idea to get yourself some brake cleaner. We're going to pause the video right quick and we'll bring y'all right back. Alright everybody, welcome back. Next step is, since I got the oil filter off, I went ahead and put the drain plug back in, tightened it up. This particular model took a size 19 to pull the drain plug out. Clean the drain plug up. Make sure the gasket on the drain plug was good and can be reused without replacing it. No strip threads, no strip bolt. It was all fine and dandy to go back in. Went back in just fine. Cleaned up the area a little bit. Got all the extra excess oil off of it. Now I went ahead and opened up the new filter, new oil filter. Again, part number for this oil filter is OF6182E. OF6182E. This is the filter that came with the kit. Yes, you can write on the side of it right here, date installed, engine hours, but I'm not too worried about that. And I did put a little bit of oil on the gasket, also on the inside of the filter. Now when you refill the system, this oil filter will get more oil in it. So we're going to go ahead and slap this puppy back in here. Be very gentle with it. Don't strip it out. There you're going to have problems. You're going to have to buy a new filter. Go ahead and put it back on there. Clean it up a little bit. This is the time. You don't have to put a lot of force on this filter. Just get it in there really tight. Make sure it's seated. Make sure the gasket is seated on it. Since I don't have a lot of room for my hands and my hands are kind of big, I'm going to go ahead and use the oil filter. I'm not going to give it a full crank. I'm just going to give it enough force to make sure it's seated really good. Maybe a third of a turn or a fourth of a turn. It's on there good and tight. Filter number is on top. As y'all can see, oil filter number is on top, so you don't ever have to second guess it. If you ever need the part number, it's always sitting on top. Now what we're going to do is pull the fuel filter off. And to do that, you'll need your oil filter wrench again, or your filter wrench. Now, for this part, it's very important. Do not be smoking around this truck right now. If you need to smoke, walk away, or stop what you're doing before you pull this off and get yourself a cigarette if you smoke. If not, well, I guess you ain't got to worry about it, huh? Because this filter right here, it does have diesel fluid in it. If you do this kind of stuff yourself, again, I'm not telling anybody they can do it. If you think you can do it, go ahead and try it. But if you don't want to do it, take it to a shop. Thermo King has no problem doing your PM service for you. But since we are owner operators, a lot of owner operators, we try to save all the money we can by doing our own maintenance on our trucks. Now, the maintenance on this thing is a lot easier than under the hood oil changes and stuff like that. I may try to do it one day, but then again, I may not. Go ahead and loosen this filter up. Yeah, this thing's on there. Alright. Go ahead and pull this off. It's a fuel filter, water separator filter, EMR 3000. This is the original Thermo King. This is a filter from Thermo King. They were the last ones to do the PM service. This is my first time attempting this on this truck. Again, be very, very careful. Make sure you got yourself on a pair of gloves. You don't want to get this diesel on your hands if you can help it. Make sure you got both hands in there. Get it off. Pull it down. Pull it out like that. Just go ahead and drain it in your oil pan. This stuff's going to be recycled anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. This is why you don't want to be smoking around this right now at all, because you are dealing with diesel fuel. Now, if you want to wear a mask at this point in time so you're not continuously smelling that stuff, that's up to you. I don't need it. I don't want to wear one. Although I should. There's nothing wrong in wearing a mask over your face. You're not breathing this stuff in. But make sure you get yourself some good rags. Clean the area up. Try to get all that diesel fuel out of there. Do not touch this right here. When the filter meets the housing, don't touch it. You don't need to do anything to it. Now, here is the new filter. It is an aftermarket filter. It is not a Thermo King filter. Part number on this is FF9342. FF9342. It is a fuel filter. You can go ahead and open this thing up. Get it out of a dropper. Make sure you keep that area right there very clean. You don't want nothing going in there but fuel. Now, to put this back on, you're going to need to go to the truck stop before you start your maintenance and get a couple of gallons of diesel. It's probably a little bit overkill having a couple of gallons of diesel, but hey, you rarely have more than not enough. I went ahead and got like a gallon and a half of diesel. The only gas can I could find is a red gas can. It's not recommended for diesel. You can use it for diesel fuel, but the yellow gas can has a water mouth on it, and you can fit the pump in there a lot easier. I'll set that down on the ground and go back over here and get the fuel. I'll go ahead. Very stupid thing. All right. Fuel filter. Fuel filter. And diesel. Diesel fuel. These gas cans right here are a pain in the butt. I hate them. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. But hey, it's the only one I can find in this point in time. So guess what? I had to get it. Yes, I'm tinkering with the camera again. Sorry, folks. I want to get it back down to size. All right. So what you want to do, you want to go ahead and fill this little beauty up with diesel fuel and put it back on there. That way the system's pretty much primed and ready to go when you start your APU back up. It would be a wise idea to get this off. Let me get a pair of pliers right quick and I'll be right back. Just a basic pair of pliers. This pair of pliers right here is branded as Road Pro. Road Pro is made in China. But when I started my career in the trucking field, I didn't have no tools. I needed a set of tools at that point in time. So I went to the truck stop and got me a set. Keep in mind, when you're getting ready to put this on there, you can't get it off by hand. This is plastic. It can break really easy, so be very, very careful when you're doing this. Put your pliers on there, give it a small turn, bust it loose, and stop with the pliers. Don't squeeze that thing all too much. It comes off really easy. Get this thing off, like so. Inspect this thing. The O-ring is just fine. Nothing's wrong with it. Put it down there for now. Put your tool over there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and fill this thing up. I'm not going to put no oil on that gasket because I don't need it. It's already pre-oiled up there, or it's got enough fluid on there to get that thing nice and wet. When it sits back up there, it won't leak. So go ahead and fill your fuel filter up. God, I hate this thing. I'm a truck driver. There we go. Alrighty, you gotta squeeze that up there to get these gas cans to work right. Anyway, ooh. Get your tools out of the way before you start filling this little thing up. I'll put it in the grass over here. So if I do have a little bit of spillage, it's no big deal. It'll probably rain later, so it'll wash it all away. Now when I started this, it did start raining for a little while, so I had to pause the video for a lot longer. Alright. That way it will have good clean fuel in the filter. You ain't got to overfill it. Just make sure your filter's got some diesel in it. See, it's got the diesel in it. Get it back on there. Be very, very careful. Use 2 hands. Get the filter back threading on there. Like that, like so. Until, just keep on doing it until you see that seal seat back in that housing. I didn't want this video to be this long, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it running while I'm doing this. I'm not gonna pause it anymore. Well, I might pause it a little while. All right, now, same thing that you did with your oil filter, you do the same thing with your fuel filter. You don't have to if you can get your hands in there and seat that thing really good. But I'm going to give this maybe a quarter to a half a turn with the wrench. Maybe a full turn. Until that filter, that seal on the filter sits up in the housing, you have to keep turning it. Just like that. Again, don't put too much pressure in there. Put enough pressure on that filter so you don't damage this filter just to get it turning. Alrighty, and that is done. Inspect your filter, make sure there's no leaks. Again, this product came from Thermo Byproducts. They are not sponsoring this. They did not send this to me for free. I paid for it. So this is not a sponsored video. Clean your filters off as best you can while the dog runs around the yard. Alrighty. Now, for this little booger there, the air filter back there, this is going to get a little bit complicated because, as y'all can see, there's not a lot of room to work. So, now I've got to get inside here and get that housing off back there. So, I'm going to pause the video while I do that and bring y'all back after I get the filter out and show y'all what the old one looks like versus the new one. So I'll bring y'all back after I get that filter out. Right back with y'all. Alrighty folks, welcome back. Yes, I got the old filter off. It needed to be changed. It was time. Like I said, your kit will come with the new filter. Go ahead and pull it out the little wrapper here. Very, very careful with it. There's a new one. Versus the old one. So, go ahead and put that over there. And I'll go ahead and get this back on. I'll leave it running for you. Way back here. I'll try to get y'all in closer here. I know, don't throw a fit. Get this filter in here somehow. Make sure it gets in there and seats down. Okay. Now, here's the cap that covers the filter housing. Get that put back on. It's good to go. It's not destroyed. No damage. It does have top written on it, so it goes on there like that. It does have these little clips right here that keeps the cap on the filter housing. So we're going to go ahead and get this back on there. Can't really see back there, so come on, get on it, get on it, get on it. Okay, jump. I know some people are going to say, why didn't you just pull the APU off the truck? Too much work. I don't have a forklift. Now when you're doing this back here, be mindful that you got all these lines right here that connect probably the fuel up to the fuel filter. You don't want to damage any of that stuff, because if you damage any of this stuff, you're going to have to take a Thermo King for them to replace all that. Come on. Come. I'll gun it. Now, if this gets to be too big of a pain, which I'm getting ready to do, I'm getting ready to pull this side panel off so I can get to it a lot easier. So, what it takes to do that is a T25 Torx, socket Torx. You can either use ratchet or you can use a cordless ratchet. Either one. Whatever y'all want to do. Just a bunch of bolts, bunch of work you got to do. So, y'all just bear with me. I'm going to back you up for a few minutes, and we're going to get the side panel off so I can get that back on there right without having a hard time. Matter of fact, I'm going to pause the video again, get this off of here, and then I'll bring you back. Be right back with you. Alrighty guys, welcome back. As you can tell, I got the top panel back on, then I got the side panel back on. I started filling the oil. I didn't quite buy enough oil, so got to send the wife out to get some more oil for it. Probably takes about 2 gallons or just under 2 gallons. But nonetheless, I mean, it's back together. The air filter cap back there took a little bit more time than I thought. That's why I didn't put the camera, turn the camera back on for it, but it's back on there right. All the filters are back on there right. I got one more air filter inside of the cab to replace. But other than that, just thought I might give y'all an update of what's going on. But like I said, if y'all want to save some money, do this stuff yourself if you can. If you can't do it and you don't think you'll do it right, take it to Thermo King and they'll take care of it for you. I don't encourage anybody to do this kind of stuff to your equipment.
Especially your company.
I'm not going to be responsible for your mess ups. You are not going to be blaming me for your mess ups. I'm just showing you how I did it and what I did to help me save some money, because I pretty much know what I'm doing. But other than that, as soon as I can get the other oil and the other air filter changed out, I will bring y'all back. But until then, it's going to be paused. We'll be back with you later. Alright everybody, well, it's all buttoned back up, all back on. Not quite ready yet, but it's going to have to go in the Thermo King. It's got probably a troubleshooting code they got to do. I don't have the right equipment for that, so. But it's got its PM service done. Nonetheless, I mean, they'll have to hook up the computer and find out what the code is. But other than that, folks, if y'all like the video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, or ring that bell, because you never know when the next one's coming. I do have some more planned, probably tomorrow. But other than that, y'all keep those wheels spinning, your beavers grinning. This is Raging Cajun, and I'm out. Peace.